Yeah, so I think like I grew up here, and not that I enjoyed growing up here. I had a great childhood and really enjoyed it, but I didn't, if you would have asked me when I was 18, like, would I live around here, I wouldn't have immediately said, yes, I'm going to move back to Northeast Iowa. Like, that wasn't the case at all. But I enjoy living here and obviously continue to live here and see so many benefits of living here. I had a great upbringing in Northeast Iowa. I obviously went to a small rural high school. You know, class sizes were very small. And I think you can look at that one of two ways. For me, it was a really positive thing. I was really involved. I wasn't like overly successful at any of these things, but I got to have a lot of experiences that if I would have gone to a larger school, I wouldn't have had those experiences, right? So, you know, maybe a normal athlete or a normal student is involved in one or two things, but I was able to play multiple sports. I was able to be involved in student council. I was on dance team, all of those things. And I know, you know, meeting other people and talking to them about their high school experiences, they had one or two things that they were involved in. And while I didn't have enormous success in any of those things, I still got to experience them and have that experience. So I think that was really important. So I graduated from high school. I went to Mount Mercy University in Cedar Rapids and graduated from there. And by that point in time, I had met my now husband. We definitely like to be outdoors. We enjoy gardening. We enjoy doing things. We're big kayakers is kind of one of our main things that we like to do together. My husband's an avid outdoorsman. I just enjoy being outside. I always laugh, when I am gone for a long time, I always think to myself, I need to be around some trees. I need to go outside. And even if it's just walking down the gravel road, walking my dogs, you feel better about that. And you're just a little bit more at peace than you are in those different places. So I enjoy running. We have a ton of trails. I think I don't want to say that they're kind of hidden, but I think sometimes people forget about them. They're not hidden. I think we just forget about them when we grow up here. We don't necessarily think about oh, I'm just going to go out and walk around a county park or something like that. We definitely see ourselves in Northeast Iowa long term. I think that kind of plays a little bit into my career. Through my career, I'm able to work remotely and I'm able to kind of telecommute, I think is another term that we use for it. And so I don't necessarily have to be close to a large urban area to have those career opportunities, which is great. And so I was kind of seeing all the positives that it can bring, that you can relocate to a more affordable area and have a different lifestyle and still continue on the career path that you're on. And for me, that's been so great. So I do work 100% remote, but there is a travel component to what I do. And so I work in software implementation. So after the software has been sold, I work with the client to configure it. I also have a certain element of education within my job. So I do go on site and I teach classes and walk them through how to use that software. I have a good balance between being at home, having some of the perks of working from home, but also being able to travel. So I do work from my home when I travel, and then I have that travel component. I can come back. I still want to leave my home. I still want to go out into the community. My husband and I very much enjoy going to the breweries, which has over the past few years become a really popular thing. We simply enjoy craft beer. We like to go to those places. I usually if I have people visit, we usually go to Elkader and we have a great time walking around different shops. There's places to eat. That's always kind of a popular thing to hit up. And it's relaxing. It's easy to get around. It's not anything that's stressful. There's a lot of momentum within the community of wanting to do things, wanting to get people engaged. And that's hard. That's a lot of work for people. And I think that it's awesome. And that's where I think sometimes I feel bad because I'm not as engaged as I would like to be. But I definitely see a lot of momentum in our communities. And I think we're only going to see that moving forward as people have really stopped and hit the reset button as far as what they want. I'm really proud of where I come from. I'm really proud of the people that help each other out. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think we all have times where you feel like you're under a little bit of a microscope, right? But that is the support and that you have from the community far outweighs those moments where you kind of just want to go into the grocery store and not necessarily talk to anybody and like just kind of keep your head down and just like, I just need this one item and I'm going to go into the grocery store. But the times where someone stops you and talks to you and asks how you're doing or asks how your parents are doing or something like that, that far outweighs those moments. So obviously we travel a lot, we're away from our home, and people are always just looking out for you, right? So they will say, hey, someone stopped by your house, you know, and I'll say, oh, that was just so-and-so picking up this one thing. You know, I knew they were going to be at my house, but I'm super appreciative of that, right? Like we're gone for, you know, typically not weeks at a time, but at least a week at a time. And I do appreciate that. I think that it kind of, you know, that they care about you and care about your home and care about your life. And I think that always kind of gives me like warm fuzzies a little bit, that I know that someone is just looking out for you and your home and your life. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I still definitely feel a connection. I've been able, you know, we obviously move on and we have different kind of chapters in our life, and I've still been able to take those people with me and still have, you know, we used to live in Elgin, and now we've moved out into an acreage, and so but I still call those people my neighbors. When I introduce them to someone, I'm like, this is my neighbor so-and-so. And I think that's awesome because you just kind of get to take those people with you, and they're still a part of your tribe, and they're still there to support you and be with you and just be another person on your team. So.